There it is.
There we go. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, it's been a while.
Oh, been a minute. And as you can see, there's changes galore. Right?
Lots of changes.
Yeah.
And a mug. Top that, Mel. You top that.
Oh.
It's your coffee cup. I love you.
Yeah. So how are things going, guys? We have, of course, gotten all of the messages asking us when we're going to come out with something new, something exciting, something for us to ponder on. And then we're sitting here going, well, have we all reached the stage of making it simple?
Or have we all reached the stage of making it more complicated? Where are you?
So, today's simplicity.
Dumbing it down.
Oh, well, what do you mean by dumb it down?
Well, I feel that, especially when it comes to the twin flame dynamic, which is pretty much what we're talking about today, or life in general, or finances, or school, or work, we tend to make it so much more difficult and put so many spins on everything that we tend to make every situation in our life very, very, very difficult. And it all piles up into this big, huge mess, and we get on these hamster wheels and we continue to run into these seemingly difficult situations that are really quite simple.
So, it's almost as though that when you're seeking simplicity, you can't communicate how simple. So, what ends up happening is the interpretation of all of these things that happen to you, you will look at things either simply or you'll look at things complex. And then when you want to look at things complex, in other words, you're becoming the mind reader of the other person, you will make things difficult. So does that still happen in union? I saw you look down and over at me. Nice try.
Oh, in union with you?
Well,
yes.
It's kind of Sherry's got a really good way of explaining how to live simply, because I'm not a simple person to live with. So, I'm sure she could give you an example of, asking me, do I want something to eat, or asking me would I like something to drink, and then
can I? Lee, would you like something to drink? Depends on what it is. Will it nourish my body? Will it be hot? Will it be cold? Will it take me to another level? Will this drink help me in my thought process? Will it bring me down? Will it make me feel better? What is it in this drink you would like to give me? Do you want a damn drink or not? It's a yes or no question.
I don't want to be simple.
It's a yes or no question. Do you want a drink? A water. Drink of water. Would you like that? Well, is the water tap water? Does it have nourishment in it? Is it filtered water? Is it spring water? Has it gone to a filtration process? Will it hurt my body, or will it? Do you want some freaking water or not?
And a lot of people are asking, is that what it's like living with?
I swear to God it is.
They're saying, is that what it's like living with? Well, yes, of course it's going to be that way living with Lee, because Lee made the union simple. He didn't make himself simple. The union had to become simple in order to be in union, and I had to get simple with realizing that she could tolerate my complex state of being. So I just made that simple.
Try going grocery shopping with you. Good.
We're not talking about
that. I go by myself. I really don't. You go with me every time.
And it just kind of exists. But I guess what we're really trying to get to as far as the point here is, how simple should it be? I mean, is communication going to be simple, or is communication going to be complex? A majority of the time we make it complex. In other words, you'll have a conversation that sounds like this. Well, I would like something nourishing to drink, but in my back of my mind is she trying to poison me? Is she thinking that she's going to give me some alcohol? Or should it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Can I have alcohol yet? Can I put this in my coffee? So the complexity of what happens in the mind is what shows up. Is she asking me, do I want something to drink? Or is she asking me if I want something to drink? Notice there's a difference in the way that's stated. Only because I've got to make it complex. Can't make it simple. And it's really interesting because we get, I think that they think, stop.
It's so funny how we get those texts. He says, do you want to go to lunch? Oh my God, what does this mean? What does this mean? Dear Lee and Sherry, my twin texts me, do I want to go to lunch? What should I say?
I think he's trying to find a way to break up with me.
How about some lunch?
But it is. It's almost like masculine energy and feminine energy by design try to dictate what the other person's thinking based off of what rule? Oh, the companion you have with yourself is the one that's trying to be involved in both you and your twin. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, especially if you're not exposing it. So, we talked about what it means to have a thought process and be the mind reader of other people's actions and behaviors. Never would you ever want to step out your own actions and behaviors to be seen, because that would just be vulnerability. And we can't be vulnerable in connection because that makes no sense. It sounds too simple. You mean if I'm vulnerable in connection, we'll be together? Oh, no. Keep telling yourself that being vulnerable doesn't make any sense at all. As a matter of fact, it doesn't make sense. Don't be vulnerable. So if you wanted some great advice, be complicated. Because, when you tell them to be simple, they want to do the opposite. So just be complicated. Now, take that and translate that in the mind, and the mind will say, well, I want to be simple. Well, wouldn't it be more simple just to state what you're feeling on the inside? I mean, it's only a matter of vulnerability, which is stronger than any knowing you could ever actually possibly show the other person. It takes a lot to be vulnerable. I mean, do you know people that are vulnerable? Oh, that's right. You're probably, no, I can't tell people because they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. Oh, that's right. That's their speculation of you, and then you make this about them. Isn't that self-judgment? I guess if you really want to be simple, it's just a matter of being vulnerable. I like all the sounds of water. It's like we're flowing right now.
Yeah, there's lots of water happening.
It's simple.
If you really want to, if you really want to just help yourself through this process, any process that you're going through, it could work in any process you're going through. If it's divorce or anything, just dumb it down. Just simplify it. It's just, life is very simple. We just make it very complicated. Everything in life is pretty simple. It's pretty cut and dry. But we tend to make it complicated. Especially in the twin flame dynamic. Oh, the runner. Oh, the chaser. They're not, I'm not ready. I'm not who they want me to be, or they're not who I want them to be, or who's the runner? Is anybody really running or chasing or standing still? Or is it just being?
I don't necessarily know that being is considered simple. Because being, the thinking that causes being to not be simple is the issue. Because the thinking has been the companion that you're trying to get with the other, and kind of make sure that everybody's going to be able to tolerate and like and all of those things. And it just turns out to be more of a mess than it turns out to be something more tangible or real. Because you have the relationship you're having to your twin in your head, and then you have the real connection that shows up that says be vulnerable. But you want to resort to what the head tells you because that's how you deal with things. I mean, that only makes sense to humans.
It's the thought process that makes it more complicated.
But if you don't let the thought process, this is funny because everybody that we've told, hey, let go of the thought process. Here comes the twin. Oh my God, you're able to be, I can be next to you. I'm allowed to be allowed to. And then all of a sudden the thing comes back and they disappear again. And they're going, well, I don't get it. They don't love my thoughts. You don't love your thoughts. I mean, the simplicity of it is you're walking around with this ego that it's your onboard companion, your trusted voice in the head that tells you to look at this person and make them the responsible party for you leaving you. Not even seeing that the thought process makes you leave you. Simplicity. And if it was only that simple, but no, we can't have that simplicity because we'd all be locked up. We would all be locked up if we didn't buy into our own thinking. We would all be locked up.
Like in jail, locked up?
Well, some people, it's considered madness to have thoughts in your head and, keep them to yourselves and then think that the whole world is against you. Because if you expose that, I have a voice in the head that tells me I'm this. And the moment you say I have a voice in the head, now you're under a microscope and everybody's going, okay, that person's done lost their damn mind. And that's right. I mean, the simple part of it is you'd get to be your true self if you lost your mind. Then you get to be in the flow and the connection. You'd be in sync with one's own heartbeat if you weren't in your thoughts. But who are we? We're just trying to tell you how to be simple.
Do you want a drink?
It depends.
There it is.
What's going to be it? Shit. Am I having a drink of your lips or what?
I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Nothing ever happened at 2 o'clock in the afternoon that didn't need to happen.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're recording.
No. We're actually being in sync with what is. So, I guess if we had to give you any advice at this point, and this message is kind of something we're going to shout from the rooftops.
It's just very simple. Just be simple.
And if your mind's making it complex, ask your mind why. Don't point at the other person. Don't point outside. This is what's going on in you. You are the observer of your own behavior, and then you point at other people's behavior and say, they're behaving like lunatics and don't even realize that. Isn't it kind of lunacy to be doing that to yourself?
Oh, but there's so much going on. My twin's married or she's a celebrity and I can't get to them, or they won't leave their spouse, or it's just so complicated. There's kids involved. There's so many things that our mind wants to take and twist and make very complicated. And one of the reasons that we can sit here in front of you and tell you that it's very simple is, if you've seen our videos, if you've seen our journey, I married someone else. I had a child with someone else. It seemed pretty difficult at the time that I knew who my twin was, or who I was connected to, let's just say that. And, I wanted to be with him. It was just too complicated. But in all reality, how simple was it?
Once I decided to love no matter what, everything became simple. It still does. It's when you start creating these complexities because they made this choice and they made that choice. And then under the realm or umbrella of unconditional love, we have these conditions and we're going, we love them unconditionally. We love them. And there's no proof of that because we need to be validated that it's going to come back in return. I'm sorry. That's the same thing as saying air is going to be taken away from you if you just don't love them anyway. It's really, really quite unique that we can claim to be simple and simply love no matter what. And air doesn't have a problem doing it. Every living creature on the planet exists because of that air. And flourishes when it's on point. I guess it doesn't make sense to love no matter what, even with this ability to point and say narcissist. But how would we know what narcissist is unless we had endured narcissist and then realized that the only reason we understand narcissistic behavior It's because there's that voice on the inside of us doing it to us already. Permission granted. Be simple.
How do I be simple? I can tell you how I became simple, how my life became simple, because when I was being dishonest with myself about everything and with everybody else about everything, that's what made it very complicated. When I just learned to be honest, when I just learned to tell the truth about everything, that's when my life became very simple.
Is there a difference between truth and honesty?
Yes,
Which one makes the difference?
honesty.
Which one doesn't care if you're honest? Truth.
Truth. When I was able to just be Lee's friend, just be Lee's friend, married to someone else, had a newborn baby, just be his friend. It just became so simple. And then I let my mind make it more complicated, and we went through all of the crap that we went through, listening to my mind, trying to hurry up, trying to hurry the process up, trying to skip over universal plan and get to my own.
And make sure that we're being on the same page with all of you. There was a huge gap where we weren't communicating, but we were.
Mm-hmm.
The simple part was communicating. The complex part was not.
Right.
Right?
Yes, very much so. It's just simple comes with honesty, and being honest is being vulnerable. Saying it hurts, or saying it's okay, or saying it's happy, or saying this is sad.
But be careful of pointing at the other person saying, you destroyed
You
me.
make me sad.
You hurt me.
Yes.
You. Wow. Just be simple. Hurt. Ooh, see that glitch?
I don't know what happened there.
That was some kind of glitch, but it said pain is inevitable. I'll say it again. It didn't glitch that time. What that means is when you were born into this world, you came through the threshold of pain and somebody held you. That's what you should be doing when you're in pain now. Don't mistake that truth. That is simple. If you are going to make yourself suffer, you will create a thought process to make sure the suffering stays around.
Yes.
Do not make it complex. If you're in the thought process of creating suffering, don't worry, you will. I think we're...
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Well, yeah.
How simple was that?
Ooh.
We will attempt to put a couple more videos out soon. We're just very busy.
We got a ton to say.
We have a whole lot to say. We're just very busy following universal plan and staying on mission and not allowing thought processes of anybody else or ours get in the way of the mission. So we're being very selective over what we do, interview wise and things. So we're busy. We are really working hard on our certification program. I don't want to get too much into that. You can go to the website.
We love our coaches.
Check it out. We love our coaches. We have
Just standing strong in it.
already some up on the wall here.
Yeah. Wow, that whole wall.
First few
Over 30.
First few are coming, and yeah, I just don't have them all up there. I wish I did, but I don't yet. Well, that's because they just finished. So, we're receiving your things, your gifts, and all kinds of cool stuff we've got going on back here. Thank you guys for everything and sending us things and filling this office full of amazing energy. Contact us. Go to our website if you're interested in becoming a certified coach. If you're interested in speaking with Lee and I. You can get a hold of our people through our website, and it's relationshipreinvented.com. All the information you can find there. And that's all we're going to say about that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
If you have $1.50 and the shoes cost $2, don't try to figure out a way to get to 50 cents. Just buy a cheaper pair of shoes.